ceramic facade because it's fire protection A1. So A1, this is one of most products is now in using, because another aluminium and everything like chemical joint is not fire protection in A1. So just to add what Patrick said right now.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Claire. So from the points where you made about using the ceramic material to cover a large percentage of the building, I'm a little concerned about the weight, because ceramic is known to be a heavy material. So what is the effect of the weight on the building, especially when it's used to cover a large percentage of the building?
Well, I mean, the weight is about 30 kilo per square meter, roughly. So it comes with an aluminium substructure, which weighs pretty much nothing. And the weight of the material is about 30 kilos. So usually when you apply this to buildings, we do a lot of, like in Scandinavia or in Europe, a lot of wooden superstructures, or you have like a blockwork or concrete. So weight was never really a problem for this material. We have one advantage actually in comparison to other like comparable terracotta materials. They usually come as a double layer. So we have a very special clay in this part of Germany which only exists there. So we can burn it with higher temperatures of these 1200 Celsius. So we can make it a single layer terracotta and save about 30-40% of resources against a traditional, let's say, traditional terracotta panel system. So this is pretty efficient. So we never really had a problem with the weight. Actually the opposite. Because of the single layer approach, we save a lot of material resources, but also substructure, and we can actually the superstructure can be weaker because the material is not so heavy like a concrete panel or something comparable, which is incombustible and maintenance free. If that answers your question.
Okay, good afternoon.
Hi.
My name is Kingsley. So I wanted to ask about the roofing. You know, I don't know if you can show us that picture again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my concern is, do you install this on an existing roof, or this is what you're going to use to roof the particular building? Because I'm an expert in that area, but I wanted to know how you do this.
Well, yeah, so it's a new build, but you can also do it on an existing building if it's strong enough. Going back to this question. Yeah, it's so it's basically the same application as before. You have your wall, like an outside wall, and then you install like an insulation, and you have to have this, especially when it's a roof application, you have to make it wind and watertight. So it's not a watertight area. It's basically still a cladding panel which goes on top. So it's a ventilated, it has open joints, so the rain can go in and can go also out through the joints and at the bottom. So you have to have an insulated and a watertight area below the actual tile. So the tile in this case is more like decoration, of course, and also like protection for the actual roof cover below. And yeah, so this is a nice one actually. It's designed by Henning Larsen. It's in Denmark, and yeah, it's called the Wave. So they started with 3, now it's 5. Let's see, but they built it directly into the fjord. So it's you see it's a high wind area, and yeah, so you have it basically in the water. So it's pretty resistant.
Okay, I hope that you have retained some small thing for our presentation. Our time is now up. If you don't have any question, one question more, and
for us it's okay. I'm not sure what the others coming after us saying. And here's a big red screen saying time's up, but go for it.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Bode. So I want to talk about the insulation material. For example, it could be rock wool or whichever one it is. Yeah. So there are 2 scenarios. What would you advise? I mean, what should work? Must it, in Nigeria now, I'm not talking about Europe. If we're using it here, must we use that insulation material? Because the two scenarios where you can have a client saying, if you remove that, it's going to reduce the material cost. It's going to have a significant price reduction on the material cost, so I don't need it. Then some others will come. I'm giving you real life scenarios. Yeah, then some others will tell you, okay, why don't you want to put it? If you advise that they shouldn't bother, some others will say, why don't you want to use it? Are you trying to make it to water it down? So what exactly is the purpose? I'm talking about now our weather or climate rather here in Nigeria. What is the real significance of the insulation material?
I think it's a lot. So that's a good question actually, and I think it makes a huge difference for the building. So the amount of insulation you add. So for example, in Germany we have very high standards for insulating buildings. So our average insulation on a building is about 20-30 centimeters, really like this thickness. And our parent company is a brick manufacturing company. So they make bricks, but insulated bricks. So they put the rock wool in the brick, so they extrude them with holes inside. So you have basically air in the brick and also rock wool. And we built a building which is in southern Bavaria, close to Munich, which doesn't mean a lot to you, but it's pretty cold. That's the thing. And so they made brick walls, insulated brick walls, and the thickness of the wall was 50 centimeters or 60, 70 centimeters, like this. And they don't need any heating, they don't need any cooling, nothing, right? They save 100% of all the mechanical equipment for ventilation. It's a decentralized ventilation, and no heating, no cooling, so you're saving 100% of these costs just with having a 600 mil wide brick wall, insulated brick wall. And this is a similar effect, this was done as an experiment, right, to see how thick has the wall to be to make all these savings. But you can achieve the same thing with adding in rock wool insulation on the outside of the building.
I should press it, no, you can switch it off back.
To protect this rock wool and keep it dry and working. So yeah, in my opinion, you can save up to 100% of your building energy, but just applying these types of rain screen cladding systems.
Maybe you don't have, you are not satisfied. As for me, we add something from Patrick. It's coming here, so mainly in Nigeria, the sub-Saharan African who have mostly sun. So it's almost 25 to 35 degrees Celsius. I mean, Abi is like here is in Lagos. It's coming first of all for the type of the building. If you build one, or if you make one building for cooling feature and everything, so for freeze, you can make the big rock wall like Patrick say, and then you cover it. But if you do this normal housing, normally between 5 and 10 centimeter is almost enough. Okay, but if the facade is already ventilated, you can avoid it. It's going to the cost. You can avoid it, but you will have normally a small heating inside. But if you put the isolation after the wall, 10 centimeter like this will be no better. So maybe you cannot use your air conditioner at all, because the cool inside will be very, 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 very okay. So I think it's better to think more project with isolation, because it's making like, if you look the comparison for the freeze what we have in the kitchen normally, you have this isolation and you have outside this white aluminum, you have inside this aluminum normal, and you put it inside. When the light goes down or we cut the light, it's stay cooling inside some good time because of this isolation. It's taking time that the warmth from outside go inside the freeze. You think to look that a house is comparing to the freeze is the same. If you make a good wall with good isolation in the good facade, you will have mostly in the longer time a really good temperature inside, and it's worth keeping all your meuble, mostly things inside all very well, because most people don't know that when you have too much air conditioner in your home or in your room, as a sleeping room, you will see after the time you will look that your clothes inside the thing going to be get moist. So, and it's when you don't have the air conditioner, I give you the story. I don't want to give you the story. You know what is happening inside the house. So I think to the last word, you need to think about to making study for the facade. Not leave everyone make paint or tile on the wall like this. And for the sustainability and durability is better. It's a huge architectural services, what is very not engaged, not beginning in Africa, sub-Saharan African country. Just 3% of the building is thinking to do something like this. And I hope that this signal going to go through the very good hand, and when you have some question else, we are here for 3 days, and after we can make us for more explanation. Thank you very much, and thank you for the answer.